The dream is real. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your lifestyle specialist, Kenny Burns, reporting live from Loveland. And boy, or girl, do we have an episode for that ass today. It is entitled Sex, Violence, and Music. Episode 18 was sure to be a conversation throughout the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my illustrious panel of superheroes. Latia Ashley, I see you out there, Latia Ashley Burns. You're selling houses in Philly. You look amazing.
Definitely not.
Good to see your face. Teule.
I love you.
My brother, I love you more. Teule, my brother from another mother, how are you?
Man, what's going on, dark skin?
Oh, because I'm blue-black on the inside. My brother, that's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Coco Burns. What's you done changed your name? Have you officially changed your name? Because you're changing your body, beautiful.
Why not?
You got a tournament on the way, huh? You excited?
I do. I am excited.
Pop. You ready for the yum time?
Ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing.
Well, they can't tell you nothing now, lip gloss. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 18, Sex, Violence, and Music. I received a DM. You know, I get DMs all the time, which sometimes become conversations for the nation. And this particular DM was so nuclear World War 17 that I literally, I couldn't post it because I'm not into regurgitating things that I don't know for sure happened. That's one, You blogs out there, You people out there reporting things that you know that you don't know. I hope that made sense. But yeah, I can't do that. But what I will do to my trusted source, which is the nation, I will send to the members like I did on this particular podcast because I want to talk about it, y'all. I've been out of the music business for a long time. I keep trying to jump back in because I love music. Oh, speaking of loving music, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to check out Let's Start Here by Lil Yachty. It reminds me, and I'm not a Lil Yachty fan prior to this album, so I'm not saying go back and get other albums. I'm saying go get this one because this reminds me of Santi White, aka Santi Gold, Reese, Everything But the Girl, Estero. It's amazing. It's a vibe. Check it out if you love all genres of music. But I haven't been in the business because I couldn't find me an artist, one that was loyal, that could, you know what I'm saying, you could weather the storm with these artists, man. They fickle as the goddamn trees in the fall. You hear me? And so I just couldn't, you know what I mean? And then back in the day, I left because of the energy and the way people treated people. And for me, one of the big, signs was when my partner Shakir Stewart blew his head off. He was responsible for signing, Rick Ross, Jeezy. He was about to be president, or was he president? I think he might have been president of Def Jam. Like, the man was on a mission and blew his head off. And I could not understand why. For the life of me, this man's like me. We got the same hustle. You know what I'm saying? He had 2 beautiful kids, married or about to get married. Like, I could not understand, But then things start playing back in my mind because I'm not a rumor guy. I just don't do rumors. Rumors are like this. Take that in your face. Like, until you know the truth, you're not supposed to speak on nothing. But this DM got me going, y'all. This DM got me going because the older I get, the more things come out and the more people, that are willing to tell their testimony and experience are coming out. Like how back when we was growing up, you saw like stuff happen on the news and our parents be like, oh Lord, I knew it. Oh, I knew that the Joker killed Kennedy. I no disrespect to Kennedy, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying you be finding out things, you know what I'm saying? You be like, oh, whoa. Then on the other side of that, you be like, how did it take so long? Especially when in your heart of hearts, some things are true and people out here using sex for power. You know what I'm talking about? And holding money over people's heads. You know what I'm talking about? And using violence to take what ain't theirs. That's the name of this podcast today, Sex, Violence, and Music. What do y'all feel about the DM that I sent y'all? And set the table for the people who weren't privileged enough to hear it.
I think sex, money, and power are 3 things that should probably be added to some of the 7 deadly sins. We should make it 10 to add those 3 because all of those things are things of which that people can use for control and manipulation. And I think too much of anything could be a bad thing. And I think that when a person feels that someone is inferior or they may have the keys to whatever kingdom that someone wants to enter to, they're the gatekeeper. So whatever, I want you to do, you're at my bend and will to do it. Whether it's position, contract, anything.
literally bending wheels.
Men use money to control women. Women use sex to control men. Corporations and industries use all the above to control positions and promotions.
Yeah, but I've been in the business for years, and I think a lot of the sex was, to your point, Latia, used for power. Like, first of all, my personal opinion is the only thing I'm gonna say about this. If a man has sex with a man or does anything sexual with a man, then I think you're gay.
All I can tell you, sir, is that he's gay.
A woman, I guess they'll say the same things, but I've seen power plays. So if there's another level for a person to go to where they're trying to use something to hold something against you, something to hold you down, like that's the thing that bothered me tremendously about this business. Now, we've seen it happen, from men executives to women, and even women executives to artists and employees, staff members, so forth and so on. But it's a cold game. It's a cold game. The hush money is a cold game. I mean, they literally, I know people that have paid so much money to keep people, to sign this to go away. And even the NDA game. Not NBA, boys and girls, NDA.
Non-disclosure agreement.
You better not tell nobody, man. Keep it on the down low.
And, and then in big business, you do that too when you're doing deals and you have property and you can't, whatever. But my point to y'all is, it's a scary world to think that in 2023, you can't use the fact that you are employing someone, paying them, expecting them to do a job, but yet you got to go over and beyond to try to mentally, in my opinion, destroy them, obviously control them, but destroy them, sexually abuse them, when you can have anybody you want. You could have toys. You could have humans that are literally toys, because there are people that will do that for you, but you want to go get this motherfucker. It's the chase. Taylor, like, how you feel about that?
Man, the industry is really tough. And in relation to that DM, we're talking about an individual exposing someone else for, their lifestyle and what they do. I mean, I've been privy to it. Any type of, I think the entertainment business, period, it's about control, right? And it understands people are going to do anything. If your moral compass is not strong, you will do anything. I've been to parties with, I'm talking about individuals who I thought were super duper thugs.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, you like it? Oh, you like that? Oh, like, I can't be a part of that. That's not what I do.
Wait. So you've actually seen some of these superheroes bending the wheel?
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I'm not gonna mention my family member's name, but I got, several individuals who do movies, close family members, and I've gone to parties. And I'm not talking about C and B list. I'm talking about A-list parties.
They're going to go to your Instagram now. You know this, right? They're going to scroll down and see what family members that you're talking about.
They're going to see exactly what family members I'm talking about. But hey, look, they know. But I have gone to parties where, I see stuff that it's like, you're not telling the public that you do that.
Right.
And then you also have younger individuals, men and women,
right,
who are around you, who you are influencing, and they're holding on to your every move, right? Because everybody knows that as long as if they feel like you are successful, right, you got money or you got influence, you have them really like eating out of your hands. And I'm talking about A-list superstar movie individuals where I go in the room, I'm like, I don't do that. It's not my style. And they say,
wait, so you went in the room and you caught like, I'm gonna say this, and this is for me, like, I've never, and y'all know my body as far as my body at work, I've never like walked in, because something in my brain would be like, because I'll use this name for sake of describing the energy. They had this thing called the Fun Bunch in this certain celebrity sect of friends, right? And the Fun Bunch will go do drugs, but they will go do drugs and they get missing for like 4 hours, and then they come back to the party. Now, ladies and gentlemen, think of where in the country that a party 4 hours later is still going on. You can start to put the clues together. But the point of the story, I wouldn't go where the Fun Bunch was going. If I knew that the Fun Bunch was getting on said plane to go to All-Star game, I'm going to get on Delta. It's just certain things, and I think that a lot of times, to your point, people get sucked into the life because they don't really have like their foundation of who they are and where they are. So they're thinking, okay, if I just hang out with them and they see I'm a cool guy, but ladies and gentlemen, if you hang out with them and you don't say no to certain things and you continue to go down the path, when you're high, you don't have control. And I've seen people not come back from not having control. You get slipped that one thing, you wake up, you know what I'm saying? And you're wondering what happened. And it's a real thing. And what I don't think people realize is that it's predatory too.
I like you, and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
Some of these people are literal predators. They see you're weak. And my wife said this the other day, because I often, when I get DMs like I shared with you, she goes like, yo, it's crazy how such and such still around, or such and such deals with that. And then she be like, but you know what? They knew not to bring that around you. Like in any relationship I got in the industry, you all know I don't consider all them friends. Majority, 98% of that was business, right? But at the same time, they wasn't abusing no women around me. They wasn't talking crazy to women around me. They wasn't doing things that we be hearing about. You know what I mean? So like I pride myself because I feel like I've saved people. Cause I'm talking about people being in these relationships with these people for long. You be like, how? They're beautiful. They have this access. They got their own money. How are they stuck? But that mental abuse is a motherfucker.
Yeah, I was gonna say, being mentally castrated when you're around someone that has whatever influence, money, security, after a while, that becomes your safe haven. And if you have partook in something that you don't necessarily morally agree with, they then have something over you, so you feel. And then you feel that it's a hamster wheel that keeps going, and then you turn to a people pleaser. And then you turn into this a completely different individual who you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And so I can see how it easily happens because your spirit becomes weaker and weaker. You know what I'm saying? If you're around a person who may have a dominant energy, and it doesn't mean that it's always a good one. It could be a dominant dark energy. Yeah. But if you don't stand on your square of your light, that dark is going to overtake that.
Yes. And it's inevitable. It is inevitable that it will consume you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this to all the up and coming youngers, because we got a lot of 20-somethings that listen to this podcast. I want you to never feel in your spirit something wrong and not act on it. I don't care if you're wrong, like, and your feelings are wrong. Just go the other way for that moment. Don't listen. It's worth not having to go through with the mental trauma of what you're gonna see or possibly experience. You know what I'm saying? It's worth it. It's worth to just go the other way. And at times, I want y'all to know this too, man. This is why you all need to show up with something of value and understand what that value is, because they don't give a fuck about you personally. Let's start off with that. They don't care about you. It's what you can do for them.
What have you done for me lately?
I'm gonna use myself again. I came into an industry fly already, no stylist. I came into an industry knowing people from being in the streets already. I don't need you to introduce me to somebody. Oh, task, assignment, I'm gonna murder that. That's all I need from you. And when you set the groundwork, when you set the blueprint of how you want to be treated and how this is going to work. Because I'm going to tell you something. You can't say it like Kenny Burns at 50 years old, but you can say it like Kenny Burns at 25 years old. I didn't have no weight as far as wanting to do, 22 years old. Because I've been getting it since 22. But I'm literally like, I didn't go into the building like, you know what I'm saying? I want to do all this. I went into the building knowing what the assignment was or the request was, killing that shit, then growing the opportunity. I didn't grow because I didn't master, so I mastered that. I mastered promotions before I went to market. I mastered marketing before I went to A&R, so forth and so on. So have a clear vision of what you want to do. Stand on that. And listen, y'all be thinking y'all can't say something back to somebody who's disrespecting you. If you let someone disrespect you, that's how the disrespecting continues. Okay? Set forth the energy, playfully or not. I remember a conversation, swear to God. I'm in Claude Austin's office, Dallas Austin's big brother, God rest his day. He put me on with Dave Gates at Rowdy Records when I was doing Monica and simultaneously helping Jay and them start Rockefeller, right? So, long story short, I'm in a conversation and it was like a shit or get off the pot moment, y'all. I was making $19,000 a year. It was called outside service, and I mean I got all of the money. I had to pay my own taxes, whatever. And Monica is on second single. Don't take it personal. Had gotten putting out twice, didn't work. I came in, got on the Black Expo. She sold like 2 million motherfucking records. I'm like, I deserve the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know the business. I don't know all that man that got from Arista Records. I don't know a lot of shit. I just know that what I felt I did, I deserved to get paid. Now, I spoke up about what I felt I should get. I need to get $500,000 a year. I don't know nothing about what salary I'm supposed to get. I'm just talking shit. You hear me, ladies and gentlemen? This is what you can't do. I need to have me, I'm walking. Tell that motherfucker this is how I feel. Now, mind you, I'm telling that to the staff. Dallas Austin is not there. Dallas Austin is roughly the same age, a little bit, but way more successful at the time. And he literally got wind of what I said and was like, well, fuck you too. You fired. But guess what happened that day, ladies and gentlemen? I knew that what I had to say meant something. Now, mind you, I got fired, but he knew not to play with me. He knew not to, and people knew. So Karen Veazey, Kim Lumpkin, David Gates, all these people knew that Kenny mean what he say, and he do what he say. So at some point you gotta define who you are, y'all, because guess what? I promise you, I could have been president of Def Jam Records right now. I could have been, but I ain't feel right a lot of the way, y'all. I jumped the fuck, I just left Sean Combs Wine and Spirits, having launched Revolt and all that other stuff. $1 million on the table. I in my spirit, I just can't be a part of things that aren't productive. And as you grow, obviously your purpose aligns. You know, things you know that feel good in your spirit, just things you're not willing to, you know what I mean?
You gotta stand for something or fall for everything.
You gotta stand for something. I never walked to Brooklyn for cheesecake. You know what I'm saying? That's just not who I am. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it disturbs me that this is still going on.
I think it's the fear of missing an opportunity. A lot of people in a lot of industries feel that if I don't acquiesce to what this person wants to do, then I may not get this opportunity again. But I just want to let everybody know that what's for you will never miss you. And if you have to do something to compromise who you are, it's probably not for you. You're probably doing something that's against the grain that you're not going to enjoy when you get to that side anyway. And I'll share one of my personal stories. You know, I've been working in entertainment since I was probably 15 years old. And I can't say that I haven't seen a lot of things, because I have. I've also been propositioned before, you know, by an executive to do things that it just is not me. You know, right. I'll meet me at the hangar, I'll come to the jet, all this stuff. Like my life would be a completely different situation. And I'm okay now, but I do know that if you get down with the get down, then there's certain perks, what most of you as perks that go with that.
Facts.
And the truth is, what you won't do, then another person will. So it's
no question. It's
not about you. And sometimes people will see your light and your spirit, and they will want to taint it, because darkness hates light. Ooh. And if you have a light and if you have a glow in you, your spirit and energy, you won't even feel right in certain rooms. And if you see something happening, you got to go another way. There's a lot of parties and places and things that I can't go to. I might go in, step, shake hands, and just keep it moving, because my spirit just, And, second story, I remember one time I accidentally went to a swingers club. Accidentally.
Hollywood swingers. Accidentally.
I was swinging into
Damn
it.
swingers club. You with the shit.
I accidentally.
You want to see some titties.
I don't even like my own. I don't want to see another woman. Let's be clear. No, I was invited by a person in the industry to have a meeting about a client, an artist that I was working with. and I didn't know the location. And he sent the address, whatever. I went there, and it wasn't operating at the time. But by the time we finished, I had to walk back through the back, and it was
finished doing
definitely,
what?
I finished the meeting. Basically, long story short, I went. When we came in through the back, when I exited,
who came through the back? I want to know who came through the back.
Not that bad.
The person that I was you know what? Moral story is I did not partake, but I could tell that it was a test to see if who I was morally and what my grounds were, what my boundaries were. And that's why boundaries in any relationship, especially in new ones, whether it's business or personal, you have to always set the tone and the boundaries. So just like KB, when you set the tone, even though you got fired, don't play with me, but they know, don't play with me.
Listen,
so when
Latia.
You set that tone.
Yeah, Latia, for real though. We got to set the tone.
Word, I'm telling you. I'm over here like you don't even know the half.
Yeah, I see you on the run or something. You're in a different city. That's a different backsplash in the kitchen for sure.
Nah, this is working. This is
okay, all right, whatever you say. Let me know who came through the back door. But I'm saying this. We can no longer, ladies and gentlemen, not set the table where we finna eat. We can't. People have to know how to treat you. You have to teach people how to treat you. Now, some people just don't know what the fuck they want, where they going, and I pray for those people. It's a real situation. Some people just don't know. They rolling with the wind, and no matter how much you try and teach them, because people that come in my life, you ain't gonna get no Kenny Burns. Just in life, you just not. If you work with me and you my friend, and I fucking care about you, it's no way you're gonna find somebody like me. Cause I gotta make sure you're whole, and I'm gonna put things in place for you to be whole. Cause if I know you can't do shit yourself, but that ain't the world. That ain't the world. That ain't even most of our leaders. You know what I'm saying? But I challenge those who do have that power, do have that kind of influence. That's the way you lead. Someone needs to come to you broken. They need to leave whole. And broken just ain't from a relationship or ain't got no job. People are broken.
Well, that shows your character. A lot of people like to come across broken people so they can manipulate the situation of what they're wanting. It's a character flaw.
Absolutely, but it's just more broken people. It's like when a broken person gets mistreated, it's like 100 more come from that. Not even bullshitting. That's the way it feels. And and this is the importance of this conversation, the violence and sex and misogyny and all the things in music. And I want to get on this music of today so much. And that's why I even shouted out Lil Yachty in the beginning of the show, because he is definitely the youth. Like, he's King Gen Z. You know what I mean? But he's trying something. He's always been trying something different. But my point is, they're not doing anything creative. All they're doing is killing and having sex and fucking doing drugs. It is painful to watch. Painful. Because every time my son plays a song, I'm like, who's that? I want to know the artist because I'm trying to understand. And I go look them up. If I don't know, I'm like, just got out of jail and you're saying in the record that the ops and the whoop-de-whoop and the wop. And I'm just like, do you understand the cycle? They're brainwashed. And yes, if you listen to music all day long, every day, even if you don't own a gun and don't live on the block and don't sell drugs, the opportunity arises yourself. Your first thought is what you know. Your first action is what you hear all the time. Now, I'm prayed up and thankful for my children because they see their mom and daddy more than they listen to that bullshit music. But the majority of the world don't have that foundation.
And that's why I listen to R&B all day.
You listen to sex music. You listen to raw sex music. You listen to Chris Brown.
I do.
What's the hook that you were just doing before we started the damn show? Because you need
Touch
your sex break.
By Division.
Touch it. Touch it.
Yeah.
Do it. But you're right. But to be honest, to your point though, Coco, like, that's why I only really love R&B. People be asking me about my generation because I come from the golden era of hip hop. But outside of the hits, I'm not really super surgical with the music. You want to know why? Because I really wasn't on that. Because see, once you live something, you actually do something, the people that talk about it, it be like, you don't know nothing about that, Slim. You don't even know about that. You talking about some shit you don't know about. And that's my mentality in life.
The eyes and ears are the access to the soul. You know what I'm saying? What you saturate your eyes with is what, it influences you. What you hear mostly influences you. Just that's why affirmations are so important. You know what I'm saying? So when you're regurgitating these lyrics, like you said, the moment you're in a situation where, you have to make a decision that, well, this can go left or this can go right. If you're influenced, the music has, it's put a battery in your back to might act out a character. But I think where parenting and raising children, this is where you have to understand that this is entertainment. This isn't always, real life. But I think we live in a world of social media where these kids and young people, and not just young people, because there's some 40-year-old fools too. I'm just gonna say that.
Ooh, 40-year-old fools. Where you at?
Yeah, they're here. We're getting so much information, so much of nonsense. We're being entertained more than we're being educated nowadays. And, it's just...
But is it even entertaining?
It's important.
What, to be honest with you, outside of the beat?
I don't think it is.
Like, even the drill shit, I get the beat. I could work out to it, you know what I mean? But when they cut that shit on in the gym and the beat goes into the vert, you gotta cut that shit off. I can't even and I don't wanna be that old nigga. I'm gonna stop using the word. I'm doing a nigga episode and then I'm gonna stop saying nigga, but until then, nigga, I don't understand what they talking about. In
the artist's defense, what I will say is that I remember when, growing up listening to hip hop, which was the era that when you was, your artists and
don't say I'm older. It's fine. Go ahead and say it.
Sorry about that. But, I remember my grandmother like, what's that music? What's that noise y'all listen to? So I think every phase and every generation has that I don't get this sound type thing.
Yeah, but
so I try not to diss the young people too much, but,
But you ain't the same 35 ain't 35, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. Like, 50 ain't, definitely ain't.
No, it ain't the same.
Yeah, because Kendra
we don't even look the same.
Yeah, because Kendra 40 and you aging backwards since you been in the gym, not eating Twinkies and shit. But my point is, I think that we have Sodom and Gomorrah happening, y'all, in a way that it's biblical. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's biblical, because even when you
it is.
When you think of angels and demons. It's some demonic shit going, even the way we think.
It is.
I'm talking about the way we think. I'm talking about we as a society. I'm not excluding myself because I think some crazy shit. And I'd be like, how? But I could be quiet though, because I'm old enough to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But these youngins ain't. It's all coming out and it's scary. Because see, even when you think things but you don't say them, the power of the tongue is a motherfucker. So I know when to shut up. I know, because to his point, you hear all this stuff all the time, you can't help it. You can't help it. It's in your brain. I don't know why, in my mind, this is real talk. This is real talk. When it's time for me to protect and defend, when I get in that mode, I go left. I'm talking about, I go left I'm talking about somersault army boot camp left. You know what I mean? No, y'all, it's scary. My mind goes left because I grew up, going through those obstacle courses as a youngin', not literally going to the army, but my neighborhood. You had to get away from when the MS-13 was beginning. You had to go, and they was cutting you. They wasn't shooting you. I don't know if you ever been stabbed.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Be careful. The point I'm trying to make is you see things to Tia's point. But dog, this angel demon thing is real. I'm scared. I'm scared for people. And I told somebody, I think I told y'all a couple episodes ago, I don't got no more tough armor. I know to do what I gotta do in the case of emergency, but I don't have no tough armor no more. I talk like this because it's the way I talk, but I don't have tough armor no more. Meaning I cannot not care about things no more. Humanity, my neighbor, you know what I mean? For life, ladies and gentlemen, we've been going through life not giving a fuck about nothing but what we had to do and what we had to accomplish. You realize that, right? Because we were taught that. Head down, keep it moving. Don't pay no attention to that. If you do this, don't do. I mean, we've been trained, and to unlearn, it has been the most difficult thing in my life.
Facts.
To unlearn has been. Right now, I am going through a change with how I want to show up in culture, and this podcast is probably leading the way on how I want to show up in culture. They're like, Kenny, you ain't doing no celebrity. No. They can't add value. I mean, they can add value, but they can't add value to what I'm trying to build, because then it becomes about them being on the show. No. Kendra, Latia, Teule, Sugar, Shelly, Maya, everybody who's been on this show, Pam. I'm forgetting people. I love you. Hasadidi, everybody, you're adding value because you're real. You have no gain but to share what you feel and what you know.
And then also you have to think about those people are living in a different kind of world. They're not living in the same world as regular individuals because they have access to different kind of things because they have the money to do that. So to bring the conversation to regular people that's, doing the best they can do every day to survive and to raise their families and to grow and to build, it's a different conversation.
Yeah, and we don't get the information. And then they're trying to sell us something. Like every celebrity is trying to sell something. What they're singing about, what movie they got. Entertain us. We're going to support, all good. But we have 8 million talking heads in this media space. 8 million. Half of them don't even have an offering, but have views. It's because of the antics. It's because of the things that they're willing to do that just don't add to nobody's bottom line but theirs. So it's selfish.
Which kind of takes you to one of the things that we're talking about, which is sex. If you look at it, a lot of creators, influencers have went into selling more sex online because those are the ones that get the most clicks, and they're trying to see, let me see if I can go viral by doing such and such. And it's bad, but that's the way that society is going.
Facts. And to be honest, to be very honest, rape is up because of all this misogynistic energy from men and women. Rape. Because people don't know that, you in here doing all this shit and you ain't trying to fuck? Now, I am saying what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I think all of it's some bullshit. Matter of fact, it's turning me off. I'm a very highly sexual person. But seeing this shit the way that it comes is too much, too fast, it's too much. It's too much. It desensitizes you. You can't even really get in your bag because I go to my Explorer page, titties everywhere. No, unbelievable.
Kenny, you do know your Explorer page is based off what you search. So
shit! Nah, Latia, I'm not going to curse at you. But that is a lie. Please. Because I don't even follow those people. And back in the day when Instagram started, I was in the club. So Taz's ain't. But if they sexual today and I follow them for some shit I joined 13 years ago, I am unfollowing them. So I don't know. I can't take that, and I don't appreciate that statement. You can take another one to your pinky toe. But yeah, that's not true because I don't look for that. The only thing I'm looking on the internet for, to be honest with you, is clothes. I love the houses that are being built all across the world because it's giving me ideas for Loveland, North and South. But that's where I'm at. I could give a fuck about a video vixen. Are you kidding me? Because
they all look alike. They all went to the same damn doctor.
Not only do they look alike, but they disrespectful. They don't care about your wife. They don't care about your kids. They don't care that you a legend. Dress Dior. I want to shout you out, girl. You gonna get one right now. Put this video in here too. We on stage at my brother Larry Morrow's birthday. Now mind y'all, I don't do this shit. I do it for Larry. I do it for Curtis. I do it for Mark Bond. I don't be hosting nowhere. In no clubs. I do Essence. I do Strength of a Woman. I'm doing Jill Scott. I'm not doing no. You know what I'm saying? And because that's my little brother, now mind you, and I definitely don't get on those stages early and warm nothing up no more. But I'm up there doing my thing. Dress Dior comes on the stage. Now, mind you, I had to get her out of the booth. Fabulous is on stage. 2 Chainz is on stage. Everybody ready to go. The movie's ready to be. Christian Combs about to perform. Or just perform, one of the two. She take her time, y'all. Ooh, she take her time. She comes through. Now I'm giving her compliments. That's right. Part the way. You see her fine ass. Come on, let her up here. I'm doing the Kenny Burns show. Mm-hmm. She feel great. People, I said, put your camera phones on. You see her, look at that outfit. I'm going in. You know, I makes everybody feel good. Ladies and gentlemen, she got to that stage, dropped her song. I go to hand her mic. She pushes my hand away. Oh yeah, push my hand away. And she's like, don't pass me that. Now for me, I'm making a movie right now. Everybody who comes to this stage is gonna perform. And maybe you don't know Kenny Burns, but you push my hand away almost like, bitch, you know what I mean?
Disrespectful ass bitch.
No, listen, look and play the video again. Like, listen, push my hand away like, don't pass me no mic. So the point I'm trying to make, I don't even know what it is, but I feel like the disrespect.
You had to get that off.
I had to get it off. But the disrespect though.
Disrespectful ass bitch.
I'm up here making you look like the Queen of Sheba walking through this motherfucker. Mind you, you've been requested to come. The man who's paying you asked you to come several times. I said it, but when you start to come, I give you the lane. Open up the crowd, put the camera phone on her. And you literally push my, and you know, 25 Kenny Burns, 25-year-old, was like, bitch. But I caught myself, cause I'm a grown ass man, and I know she don't know no better. Right? But at the same time, y'all, this the world we in. You can't even respect the legend who bringing you up here. Ain't nobody brought you on no goddamn stage. You can't tell me nowhere you been. I don't care who is sending you dick pics. I don't care who in your DM. That ain't got shit to do with this pleasurable experience you just had. You gonna push my hand away? But that's what culture is. That's what culture is. Culture now. So you fine, and now you got some followers, and you taking the blueprint of the hair selling, rhinestone dealing, whatever your skin hustling at, y'all do, and get your money. But that shit, guess what goes away? Your beauty eventually fades.
Facts.
Your popularity eventually will fade. It'll be a new you. But guess who gonna be here? Me.
Motherfucker.
Sorry, I just had to throw that in there. But the ones who gonna be here are the ones who did right by people. No, I'm serious.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Please somebody, because this is
Facts. I'll say that I think the game right now, really, over the last probably 20 years, is really lacking true visionaries. Like the industry as a whole.
Hold on.
Right?
Hold on, light skin, blue, black on the inside. You deserve a round of applause.
That's a fact, though. Like it's not a whole lot of visionaries. Everybody wants to fit into the same bubble, right? And so that goes down from the people, the execs who are signing the individuals, they're grooming the artists to be a certain way. And the moment you get somebody, I hate to give names and stuff like that, because I'm not that dude, but somebody like a La Russell, he's going to be totally out the box, right?
Right.
I'm going to put out 32 albums in 6 months. That's crazy, but he's got a vision to where you come to my concert, what do you think I'm worth? You think I'm worth $25? Cool, you can get in. You think I'm worth $250? Like, it's a vision. Everybody now, like the young lady you just talked about, like they are just fitting in a bubble. So we can go to Dr. Miami, I can give me some ass and some titties.
Yeah.
But we can't do a brain transplant. So all that when you get 40 is going to be saggy and you're just going to be, ridiculous. But it's a business and it's going to eat you up and it's going to spit you out. Yeah. I've had individuals try to groom me. And going back to something you said, everybody will be tested.
Everybody.
Rooms where they're going to test you to see, is he going to bend? Is he going to like a little bit of this razzle dazzle? Nah. You're going to get this chin music. I don't play them type of games. I don't do that. I knock out your molars and everything else with it. If I tell you this is what I'm about, this is what I'm about. So I don't, that little razzle dazzle. I've seen it. I'm trying to tell you, I've actually been a tutor to some of their kids.
Wow.
And I see all type of stuff because everybody wants to be like everybody.
Yes.
Right?
No individuals anymore.
No vision. None. The ones who are really standing out, like you see somebody like a Rhapsody. You know what? That's somebody who's outside the box. She's maybe not gonna sell like a Cardi, but dope, right? Because, and here's the crazy part. I'll say this last thing about the individuals. They actually know that they're fitting inside of a bubble. How many times have you heard Cardi say, "Look, I know y'all want to hear me talk about other stuff, but this pussy and this titty is what's gonna sell records."
Yeah.
You a bozo for that to me. Because
Yeah,
you don't care about nobody.
Hold on. We love Cardi B. Don't. We love
somebody and call him a bozo.
We. You're right.
Yeah.
Applause.
You need friends like that's when saying like, "Hey, yo, you're a bozo for that."
Yeah,
I always tell my buddies, if we out somewhere, don't do that in public. When we get to the crib, then you can be like, "Yo, you was on some wild shit. Don't ever do that again. You gonna cause a crash."
Without question.
And she's a bozo for some of that.
And we love the come up story. Just being from the hood and seeing her with no teeth or the fucked up teeth, you know. So.
And I also like that she hasn't changed who she is. Now maybe she's still continuously singing about booty, titties, and ass, whatever. But she hasn't changed who she was.
Yeah, I think too.
From what I see.
No, you're right. But I think too, people like Cardi know they have a ceiling, if you will, right? Now, maybe she'll get into the fact she doesn't. I love the politics lens. I love different things that she's doing. But I think I'm not talking about Cardi. I'm talking about people in general. They know they have a ceiling, so I'm gonna get in and get out what I can while I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, to your point, Tayule, like, you know, at the end of the day, man, like, what we really in it for? What are we really in it for? Like, you know what I mean? Like the business opportunity for musicians today, artists today, is like no other time in history. So to your point of a plan, like, yeah, like, but J. Cole don't put out no albums make more money than all y'all. Or, I'm just saying, I don't know that to be a fact, but Kendrick Lamar make more money than all y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you think, oh no, he just sold his catalog for $200 million and gets, you know, X, Y, and Z. So my thing is like, yeah, I get, you know, the thought process of trying to get in and get what you can while you can, but two, like, grow the thought process. You're in the business because of the forefathers and their offering. They thought about big business. They thought about, well, look, we wear the clothes, we drink the liquor, we do, let's own. I don't see nobody doing that today. I don't see not one artist doing that today. There's so much money in streaming, the internet, digital, so forth and so on. They're not even thinking about business. You know what I mean? They're doing collab deals and things like that, but they don't own nothing. You know, when Puff came with Ciroc, that was a monster play. We talking all this when The Rock, and I'm gonna say Dame and Biggs, and Jay came with Armadale. They had a vision. We doing all this with, you know, Belvedere put us in I don't know if y'all remember that ad. They did an ad and they put a stick figure with a New York Yankees hat on to portray Jay. Like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? But even when Jay, you know what I'm saying, like, Belvedere got things everywhere. What's the verse? Anyway, they were doing so much with the space. They were like, well, let's own our own. So I don't see how sex, violence are going to be able to continue. I don't know how many more ways you can kill a motherfucker. I don't know how many more ways you can disrespect a man or a woman sexually. I don't know how many more times we can talk about a scenario that includes sex when half of y'all ain't even freaks for real anyway. Oh, shit. Y'all be talking about all this, you know what I mean? You be doubling down on, you know, with all the tongue and shit and can't suck dick. I don't know. Is it me or I don't know. Taylor, you just but my point is,
I want you to touch that little dangly thing that's swinging the back of my throat.
Listen,
people are full of shit.
That's a fact.
They're full of shit, and the way that we continue to show up in culture is how we will be fucking judged through the rest of the eternity. Y'all don't realize that y'all are the most capable generation ever. Y'all are the most capable generation ever. You have more access than any generation before you, and you're not even using it to your advantage.
You made an interesting point. You said that we have access to a lot of things that will help give us power. But I think once you get through the doors, past a gatekeeper, let's say you may have, for example, let's say streaming, because you mentioned that earlier, and we're referring to artists.
Right.
You create this campaign yourself. You know, you get the numbers up. Finally, you get a deal if you decide to not stay independent. But then you get in, and then you change, or you acquiesce to whatever they want you to be. Whether it's portraying that you're a part of a certain organization. Let's say, for example, I've heard, I can't say that this is true, I've heard that they had artists staged to pretend to be a part of the LGBTQ plus community. Don't know if that's true or not, but just staying in your authenticity. It's like,
right.
What are you willing to exchange for your authenticity? And I think, you know, because we have so many people that want it so bad, whatever that it is, that position is, you know, sometimes the pressure will force them to compromise. And then, you know, maybe that's where the self-inflicted violence come in. Because now they hate themselves because they become somebody else.
Right.
And now the true them is fighting to come outside. So now the true violence is really internal. And then it spills over to the other people that surround them. So I think that's a possibility too.
Yeah, nah,
because
sure.
they're selling their souls for a bag. That's dumb to me.
And do you understand how valuable your soul is? Do you understand?
Do you even understand what a soul is?
Yeah, no, they know.
Can we break down what the soul is?
No, they know. They know. Anybody can hear the sound. Listen, anybody can hear the sound of our voice, know when they doing something they don't feel right doing. They know. That's your soul. That's your gut feeling, that enormous, overwhelming presence is God, which is your soul. That is, listen, y'all, and I want to say this too, like, be careful what you wish for. All right?
That's true.
Be careful what you wish for, but more importantly, be careful what you work for. You do not realize what comes with a lot of this shit that y'all think y'all want to be a part of. Y'all think y'all know something about something because it look easy and people wearing jewelry and clothes and things you think you want. At the end of the day, you're going to want some peace from this. You're going to want some happiness from this. And more importantly, you're going to understand the value of time, because you can't get time back. Okay? These people will take your life. Your time on this earth should be how you measure success, because we can't get time back. And people playing with their time like they got 10 years. They got this. My son's girlfriend's birthday just passed. Happy birthday, Layla. We love you. But literally, when I tell y'all, I was looking at pictures to post for her on her birthday, and me, Kyle, and my entire family was just living our best life with butlers and chefs. In less than 6 months later, he's having 3 brain surgeries. You ain't got no time. Y'all ain't got no time to be playing with your life. You had no time. Y'all think y'all want something. Y'all see it. You think you want it. Like, be sure, ladies and gentlemen. And there's nothing wrong with taking chances and doing things, but you gotta like this shit. You gotta like this shit. You just ain't gonna go do something that don't feel good in your spirit, because if you do, you're tearing yourself down. You're tearing your spirit and your soul down. If you go work, and I'm gonna say this to everybody, if you go work for the man and you know damn well you don't have an agenda when you walk in the door, the man gonna own you. Man gonna own you. They gonna own you for the rest of your life. Because guess what? You're gonna pivot and adapt and adjust based on what's available to you. And what's available to you is 9 times out of 10 what they want you to have. I don't want you to let that go over your head. I swear for God, it's probably the best message I can give you ever. They will have their hand on you. And it's hard to start over. You motherfuckers think it's easy? When y'all see me out here pivoting and recreating for the last 30, it's hard. And it gets harder when you get older because you give a fuck. You actually care. Kenny Burns cares. I just want y'all to hear the words that's coming out of my mouth. Listen, y'all, this ain't for the faint of heart. Life. I ain't talking about business. I ain't talking about what we doing. I'm talking about life. You gotta mean this shit. You gotta leave with some sort of intent.
That's why hip hop is a young man's game, because young people don't really have a concept of time, right? They feel like they are invincible. They got some extra time. The older you get, the more you begin to realize, like, your life is really short. Like, I don't really have a whole lot of time left. Or you stop putting up with so much nonsense, right? And they also know that the older you get, you cannot be manipulated.
Facts.
They can come to you with some crazy deal like, hey, I give you $5 million for this clothing deal, but I want you to do a little, a little swiggle around
little razzle dazzle.
Yeah, like around your brown eye. Like, no, but a young person who is just trying to get established, don't have no concept of time. And yes, I see my daughter, her friend is 20 years old, and I saw her come to the house with a new body. Dang. A whole new body kit. I'm like, at 20, what made you go get a body kit
it's sad,
at 20?
Bro. It's sad, bro. It's sad.
You messed up for the rest of your life now.
Latia, what was you about to say, baby?
It's maybe a bit dated now, but you said something earlier that I thought was actually encouraging. You talked about, in a nutshell, you reinventing yourself and how it's not easy. But I think, the light at the end of the tunnel with this, for me, was the fact that because you wrote the story, you're able to recreate a new chapter. You know what I'm saying? You can change and control the narrative. If we're writing, so I know life does go by fast, but after all the lessons that you accumulate over the years, it helps you write a better chapter next time to help you get there faster. You know what I'm saying? Because we've all acted stupid, we've all goofed off, we've all wasted time. But when you are the author of your own life, you can always change the narrative in your own movie. So Kenny, I salute you for you revamping, and that just jumped in my spirit. So for the revamp that you're doing, all you're doing is just rewriting the script in your own movie.
Man.
And it's still gonna be a good show.
Listen. And big shout to your Wi-Fi, because what just happened, that was the only thing all show long that was
That's true.
Right.
I haven't been able to hear any of y'all.
God's spirit was like, you know what?
Nah, listen, but your
here.
voice and what you've been saying all show, especially with that. Amen. Thank you. I receive it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to end episode 18, Sex, Violence, and Music, by going around the table and have our superhero panel share their views on this conversation. Kendra.
I would like to say, just for anyone trying to go into any kind of industry, be strong and grounded on who you are and your well-being, as well as your beliefs and your morals. And don't let anyone defer you from that. And just stay strong.
Amen. Amen. Latia Ashley Burns.
I would say, as it relates to money, sex, and violence, I think you got to know the game to play the game before you jump into any industry or relationship. You better study and become a student first. And, sometimes be okay with being the quiet one in the room. Be a student. When you're a student to life, it's easier for you to observe when someone's trying to zoom you or play you or swindle you out of your money or use you for sex, or if someone's trying to back you in a corner and get violent with you, so to speak, to gangster you or to push you in or to force you into whatever they want you to do. Right. So remain a student and just study whatever game or industry you want to get in.
Facts. Teule, my brother, share with the nation.
Yeah, your soul is not for sale, right? Don't be afraid to hear the no. Don't think that's God telling you no. That's actually God telling you yes. Like, yes, I got something better for you. Yes, there's a different avenue. Yes, you do not have to go that way. So, right. I mean, your soul is never for sale. And if you stand on that, you're never going to lose.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'll wrap that up by saying that sex ain't nothing to play with. And unless you really bout that life, I don't suggest you go down that road unless you're ready to receive all that comes with it. I don't want you to let that go over your head. Violence, it goes nowhere. It goes nowhere. Perpetuating it, talking about it, glorifying it, it takes you down a road that ends in two ways. You pulling the trigger or being in front of the trigger getting pulled. And music, let's protect music with everything we have. Let's be more experimental with music. Let's try things in music that can define us, because we have a whole generation that sounds just like each other. And it's the first generation I've ever heard that. So I wish you all well on your journeys. Please share this podcast for perspective to everybody you know. And Teule, Latia, Kendra, aka Coco Burns, about to be, you know what I'm saying, with the and the I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And the dream is
real.
Okay, love y'all. Go bye-bye.
The dream is real.